The Seattle Seahawks some way, somehow made old man Phillip Rivers look like he could win a football game in the 2025 NFL season. It was a nail biter. It didn't feel good at any point. Hey, but you found a way to win. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Seahawks with the victory over the Colts, 18-16. And I'll tell you right now, I freaking love Jason Myers. I've never loved anyone more in my life that wasn't related to me. He was absolutely incredible this week. The reigning NFC Special Teams Player of the Month had to be perfect today for the Seahawks to win, and he absolutely freaking was. 6 for 6, and he helped carry this Seahawks team to a victory, especially after, the offense, they didn't look so good. They did not look too hot in this one. Sometimes you need other players to pick your team up when it's needed most. And Jason Myers did that. We're going to get into more of that, some of what was going on offensively for Seattle, some of what was going on offensively for the Colts, as well as my key takeaways. But before I do that, do you love Seahawk victories? Do you love it when the team in blue and green comes away with a big dub? I sure frickin' do. So come on in and like the video. The Seahawks have not lost in, basically a month again. 4 straight victories. Come on in. You like those victories. You like the video. Help us out. We always appreciate it. All right. Let's dive into the offense. Because I think when you look at the offensive stats as a whole, they're not great, but they don't jump off the page to you as horrific. They don't jump off to the page as, hey, this offense wasn't able to move the ball all game long. But they weren't. You only got 18 points, never found the end zone once. 313 yards, half of that came in the fourth quarter. Half of it came in the fourth quarter. The Seahawks team just didn't look like they were ready for prime time. Yeah, your yards per play is great, but it's because of what happened at the end of the game. When JSN and Rashid Shaheed, by the way, we figured out a way to unlock him, they started jumping off the page to you. Not a lot of penalties in this game. Refs really let everyone play except for Josh Jobe in that one, which was absolutely freaking ridiculous. The offense has to get figured out. We're going to dive more into that here in a moment. But first, I do want to ask you, what was your one-word reaction to this game? Let me know down below in the comment section. I think right now what I'd have to say, whew. I don't know if that's a word, so maybe I'll throw in sloppy, but whew is how I really feel right now. You should have lost that game. The Seahawks had no business winning that football game with what the offense was doing. You really should have lost the game to a team that you shouldn't have even been in a ball game with in the Indianapolis Colts. And yet, you found a way to win. So I feel pretty darn good. Make sure to reply with your one-word response down below in the comments. Here's our side-by-side comparison. We went through what the Seahawks were doing. Colts, they had nothing, man. Now, Jonathan Taylor ended up having like 70-plus yards rushing, so he's got a good chunk of what was going on there. But it was very clear from the start of this game that Phillip Rivers was not going to be able to throw the football. He was really all that they had in this game. Jonathan Taylor had to come up huge for the Colts. Now, I will say this. Phillip Rivers did impress me with his moxie. Like, he came in and he did what the Colts wanted him to do, which was hand the football off when there was an open player, find him with the football, and don't turn the ball over. And the only reason that Phillip Rivers turned the ball over was because he had to take a shot with 13 seconds left in this game. That's the only reason Kobe Bryant came away with an interception. Phillip Rivers also clearly cannot throw the ball. He was shot-putting everything. It was ridiculous. Everything came out like this. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? But it was fun. It was a fun experiment. I definitely would have thought that Phillip Rivers would have got beat up just a little bit more than maybe he was, but you know, the Seahawks defense, they still did well enough to shut down that Colts offense and come away with a victory when their offense wasn't doing anything. Now, I want to dive into my key takeaways in just a moment, but before I do, I need to let you know about our good friends over at PrizePicks. This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. It is the holiday season, the best time of year for sports. Bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes, it is all happening at once. And while you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, which game to watch, there's one place where it feels good to be right. PrizePicks. New feature alert. PrizePicks now has early payouts. If your lineup gets off to a hot start, you may now have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. On PrizePicks, how you play is up to you. If you want flexibility, choose Flex Play, where you can get paid even if one of your picks misses. If you want the biggest payouts, go for the Power Play. No matter your play, PrizePicks is a great way to put your takes to the test. I had some takes for this weekend's action. I had JSN more on his receiving yards, Jared Goff more on his passing yards. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It is good to be right. All right. My first big takeaway for the Seattle Seahawks here. The defense absolutely carried you. This defense is elite. This defense is special. And yes, Jonathan Taylor was able to get a decent chunk of yards against you. I want to dive in a little bit to his stats. He ended up getting about 80 yards plus in this one, almost got to 90, but you definitely made him earn it. Remember, he's been averaging 5.5 yards per carry on the year. He only got 3.5 against you in this one. It was clear that the Colts were going to get the ball to Taylor and Abdullah all game long, and I thought that the Seahawks did a great job of really shutting them down. It felt like Taylor had to earn everything, and aside from a big run from Abdullah, he really wasn't able to do much. I was impressed with Nick Eamon-Worry. I felt like he stepped up in a big way in this game. When you look at what the Colts had for a total team stat point, 215 yards, that should lead to a blowout. But unfortunately, it just didn't. Nick Eamon-Worry played like a guy with his hair on fire. Look at that. 6 solo tackles in this game. And he was largely matched with Tyler Warren, doing a great job in coverage, knocking a couple of balls down that were trying to go his way. You also saw him add into the pass rush. He had a couple of tackles that were right there in the backfield, helping out Byron Murphy and Leonard Williams. You have a special player in that safety position. And I know I'm just shouting him out specifically, but I was very impressed again with the rookie. Nick Eamon-Worry is here to stay. Next key takeaway. The offense has a problem. We have a problem. And I don't want to dive into it fully right now. That's probably going to be something that we'll have to look more at on Monday, either in the AM video or the PM video. But it's very clear that this offense, since the Vikings game, hasn't been right. Like, you're going to look at Sam Darnold's stat line here, and it's like, hey, that actually isn't very bad. Here's the problem. The Seahawks don't want to throw that many times with Sam Darnold. You've seen him do it against the San Francisco 49ers in that first game. What did it lead to? It led to the Seahawks losing. Now, fortunately, it didn't lead to a loss here, and Sam had to throw there by the end, but the Seahawks wanted to run the football. It's also important to note, Sam missed a couple open receivers. Cooper Kupp should have had a touchdown. JSN, he got missed a couple of times, and Rashid Shaheed. So that's got to get stepped up. Jaxon Smith-Njigba, he comes up big for you at the end of the game, over 100 yards, but most of that, again, came in the second half. The Seahawks cannot continue to start this slow. Zach Charbonnet, he was able to get stuff going a little bit on the ground in the second half, getting about that 4 yards per carry, but Seattle had to use him because he was the more physical runner. They wanted to use Kenneth Walker, but Kenneth Walker was not physical at all in this game. Look at his stat line. For someone that had to step up and prove something, Kenneth Walker proved that he is not a true blue feature back. He is a back that needs to be sharing the load because you can't trust him to win one-on-one. Now, don't get me wrong. The offensive line wasn't perfect. I thought that Sam Darnold did a fine job of getting guys where they needed to be. And Jalen Sundell, it's his first game back after missing 4 weeks being on IR. But it wasn't good enough. There's no reason that this Colts defense should have shut you down the way that they did. And frankly, I'm worried about what we're going to do against the Rams. Last thing, I could kiss Jason Myers. I freaking love you, man. I love you so much. And I don't mean this to be creepy. Like, it's not what it is. I'm just spur of the moment. Like, you were awesome today. 6 for 6. Didn't miss a field goal. He hit a 56-yarder. He broke his own career high, by the way, for most points in a single season. When you had to be perfect, Jason Myers was perfect. And he's now had 3 opportunities this season to hit game-winning field goals, and he's hit 2 of them, and the other one he didn't miss. It just came up short. That was his issue. It came up short. It was too long of an ask for the Seahawks to ask him to hit a 60-yard plus field goal. Jason Myers won us this game, and he deserves the recognition and the love and the support from this fan base. And I know that he gets it. But when you have a kicker that can come up clutch like that for you and be Mr. Automatic in a game where it's not like the weather was great. It's not like it was sunny. The ball wasn't going to travel far. I hear all the time about the marine layer when it comes to baseball. I guarantee that affects the kicking game as well. Seahawks still found a way to win. And that's huge. And it's because of Jason Myers. Great teams have to win ugly sometimes. The Seahawks won a game ugly, and that's okay. Red pen time. Grade how the Seahawks performed in this matchup. Let me know in the comment section down below. A, B, C, D, or F. I would say personally, probably around that C plus B minus range. Here's the current NFC playoff picture as it stands. The LA Rams, they were able to lock up a playoff berth. They are the first team, to my knowledge, to clinch a playoff berth in the NFC. Guess what? Everything still is out in front of you. If the Seahawks beat the Rams on Thursday, not only will we clinch a playoff berth, but we will be the number 1 team in the NFC and the NFC West. That is absolutely massive. But this offense has got to figure it freaking out. Subscribe to the channel. We got daily Seahawks content coming out you don't want to miss. Help us out. Come on in. Subscribe to the channel. You know you love the Seahawks. You'll love what we do here on Seahawks Today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll catch you guys next time.